So I may be repeating myself here, but when I say follow one course until successful, focus, this is what I mean. Hey, it's your girl, Sherri Somers, and we're going to be talking about how to get success fast, how to follow one course until successful. And what I mean by that is I have been hosting a masterclass one time a week for a while now. I've been doing that is how to craft your communication to get a yes. And in doing that business model, what I often hear people say is, hey, this business model that I started with, whether it's a masterclass, a challenge, digital product, it's not working. So I need to switch this. I need to switch business model and come up with something better that's going to be working for me. And I often hesitate when I hear that because we love to, my favorite word, throw out the baby with the bathwater. And we never get anywhere by doing that. We always feel like we're going to have to start over from scratch every time we do that. So, what if we could follow one course until successful? What if we could stick with it no matter what? I'm in the season of sticking with things, I'm in the season of understanding things, I'm in the season of not giving up so much. It's a new version of me. Help me out here. Okay. Here's what I mean. When you decide that you have an offer that you can help people transform their life and make an impact, then you say, how am I going to get that offer out in the world? What is my marketing strategy is going to be? And then when you choose your marketing strategy, then you need to talk about what is that conversion tool? What is that conversion tool will look like? When it comes to conversion tool, will you have them book a call with you? Will you have them do a masterclass? Will you have them do a challenge? What does that look like for you when you're talking about converting your prospect into clients? And whatever that tool is, I know I hear something like booking a call is waste of time and nobody books calls anymore. Or I've heard masterclass, nobody show up for it, or a challenge is too long. I've heard all of that. And I'm here to tell you the truth that all of that work, right? All of that work, no matter what your conversion tool is, it works in this market in this season. So I hate to bust your bubble, but whatever your conversion tool is, chances are it's working. It's not the conversion tool. The problem is when you're working a conversion tool, you don't stay long enough in that conversion tool to see if it works. You don't stay long enough. If you don't get the results fast enough, then you just want to throw it out, right? I remember when I host my masterclass, I was trying to get back to doing things live from not just my digital products, but I'm like, okay, let me just do a live masterclass. Let me test the water, do it every Thursday and see what happened. And I remember the first time I did when I did a masterclass the first time, we had a 4-figure conversion. I'm like, oh, great. This, oh, I found this secret sauce. Do it again the following week, nothing. Crickets. And then the following week, crickets. And I remember going to my husband and sitting down on the couch, and I remember saying to him that, hey, babe, I'm just kind of disappointed because I just feel like this thing is not working. So I just feel like I probably should just turn off my ads and just kind of do something else. And I remember him saying, and here's the thing where my husband is not inside of my business at all, as in part of the business. He'll help out here and there, but I love going to a fresh mind. And when I went to a fresh mind, he was like, hey, you know what? I don't think you need to stop so fast. I think you need to keep doing it because you are trying to get back out there from your hysterectomy. So I really think you need to do it again. And I took his advice and I did it again. And then we had another 4-figure day. And I'm like, oh my God, what if I had stopped at the first few weeks? What if I had allowed the first few weeks to be the defining factor of this model doesn't work? And some of you are listening to me right now, and you definitely can relate to what I'm saying because you may be trying to call people and get them to get on a phone call with you and book with you. And you're like, that is not working for me. Or you may do a masterclass on only 2 people show up. I had that experience too. And then I was like, what did I do wrong? I did everything right. Why only a few people show up? Well, what happened when I looking at back, my funnel was broken. Yeah, you heard that right. My funnel was broken. And when I realized that my funnel was broken, it wasn't me. It's just the funnel was broken. So we had to we had to chop it up to that loss. But I really think that when you're thinking about choosing one business model, whether it's a masterclass, a challenge, book a call, I want to paraphrase again and say all of that work, right? People always say the grass is not green on the side. No, the grass is greener where you water it. And for me, whatever your conversion tool is that you're choosing, whatever that thing is that you're choosing, I just want to sit for you to sit with that and say you may have to try it a couple of times before you can say it doesn't work. And when I mean a couple of times, it may be 90 days to get a good data on whether it works or not. Don't be so quick to just throw it out. Look at all the different factors, tweak it a little bit. You make sure your messaging is strong before you decide to do that, because just saying it doesn't work is not enough. You may need some reps. You may need some repetition in there to get clarity on if this conversion tool of driving clients, leads, and sales to your business work. All right. So I want to make sure that we don't get caught up in shiny object syndrome. And I see that happen a lot too, where we get to a point where we're trying to put my phone on do not disturb. I forgot to do that. Oops. But we get to the point where we have this shiny object syndrome where we get on Instagram and we see other people doing something. Like right now, it's a yapping content thing that everybody's talking about. Your yap on because we had a young lady that had made $1 million doing a yap challenge. So now we are all about yapping on social media, which I was doing that from day one anyway. But that, not because that worked for one person, that doesn't mean that it's work for you. So you have to find what worked for you based on your time, your capacity, and your freedom. But you also have to work the conversion. You have to work it consistently first before you're quick to say it doesn't work. And because when you create one model, one way of converting your client, that's what we are really focused on. What is that one model of converting your clients? When you create whatever that model is, there's so much moving parts within that existing model that you have to truly make sure that you have tried every different thing. So, for example, in this case, my leads were broken. So it wasn't that my conversion wasn't working. I didn't have enough people coming to the masterclass to convert because my leads were broken, right? My leads were my in the back end, my funnel wasn't set up properly. Right now, it could be the funnel, or it could be the marketing that's getting them in to the masterclass. So now we have to look at the marketing, and now we have to look at different things that could be getting. I'm going to share my whiteboard with you so you can see what I mean. So when you're thinking about conversion tool, and again, if you're new to what conversion tool is, how you get a person from becoming a prospect to becoming a sales, right? Move them from prospect to becoming a client. And in order to do so, you have to have your marketing, right? You have to have marketing going on. So however you market your business, right? Then when that lead comes in to your marketing, then they have to figure out. In some cases, people say is you want to nurture them. That's good and all, but let me just also start here with the offer. So you have an offer, but no one see your offer, right? So you have the offer, and then you market in that offer. You're marketing the idea, the outcome of what that person is looking for. And after you do that, you may have your conversion here. That conversion here. And again, a conversion could be a masterclass. A conversion could be a challenge. A conversion to be book a call. Whatever that conversion is for you, that's between you and God. But the idea here is whatever conversion that you choose, understand that you need enough data to see if the conversion is working for you. So you have your lead here. I'll go ahead and put lead. You have your lead here, and then you have your offer here. That's where you close them, right? So when you have your marketing is what I say captivate. This is where you captivate their attention in your marketing to get them to go to whatever your conversion tool is, right? So inside of that, you have your funnel. So you have to captivate your audience in your marketing. Then they come down to a place where they convert you, and then you close them. In the old way, right here, it used to be where we cultivate them, and you can. So it'd be a 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'd be a 4-step process. So you captivate, cultivate, convert, and close them, right? But in this day and age, you can literally, especially if you're doing a challenge, you can have a 5-day challenge. Captivate the audience. They come to your challenge, and you convert them and close them. Now, let me just kind of dive deeper on what that looks like. We're talking about only focusing here on our conversion. That's what we're focusing on. Now, many times when people say, oh, the wrong people are coming to my call, the wrong people are not showing up on my masterclass, the wrong people are not on my challenge, I can tell you that it's half the time is 60% not the actual conversion. What may be broken here, you maybe have the number one, the messaging the message that you use to convert them for them to come in, right? So the message that you use here is what messing them up when they come here. So that part need to be fixed. So you have one part that need to be fixed. The funnel that move them from the message where you captivate them with your message to get them to come to your conversion, that may also be broken, because that's what happened with me as well. This part was broken. And then from the funnel itself, even if they come on here, your presentation may also need work of how you converting them. So you see how one model may have different things that you have to tweak and fix and so on. So jumping from a challenge to a masterclass to a book a call, that's a lot. The goal is to pick one of these conversion tool and work it. It work if you work it. Because when you choose one of these conversion tool to get the right lead to be captivated to come into your conversion tool, you have to understand that all of these are different moving parts. So if you're not getting the right people are not saying yes to you, I always say, what is the message? What is your biopsychology message? Are you creating a psychological interrupt to get them, to captivate them, to get them intrigued, to say, I'm curious about this challenge you're having. I'm curious about this masterclass you're having. I'm interested in coming. And if you're getting people, and how you know that too is based on your website. So how many how many people are coming to your website versus how many people are showing up or signing up. So I would take a look at that. And then if you get to the presentation and they're saying no to your presentation, which is a conversion area, they're saying no to your whatever your offer is that you're introducing them. If they're saying no to coming into that close, I would say, what does your presentation look like? What does your presentation look like? Are you creating a presentation where, like, you're a professor in college? Are you present a presentation where it's based on buyer awareness, buyer psychology, right? So again, my idea of showing you this is because when you choose one model, whether it's a challenge, whether it's a masterclass, whether it's book a call, you have to understand that each of these models has their own individual components. So if you say, Sherri, where do I start? My first thing I'm going to tell you to do is how many lead are you generating? If you're doing a book your call, which is what I say everyone should start off with when you're just first getting started, ask yourself, how many people are you bringing on your call? So you're able to captivate them for them to book a call with you, which is your conversion tool. How much calls are you getting on your book of calls? If you're not getting, are you getting one per week, two per week? If it's one or two, that should tell you you're not having not enough leads are coming in to your business. You need more leads to even have enough data. So the first thing is, how much leads would be my number one, that I would start with number one. How much leads are you getting? And if you're feeling like, hey, I'm getting about 30 people coming to my per week. Okay. So that means it's not a leads issue. Boom. You got that. Now you're asking yourself, well, how many people out of the 30, how many am I closing, or how many showing up for the call? So let's say you say, all right, out of the 30, 10 is showing up, but I'm closing 2. That may mean that you need to work on your presentation, or I'll say presentation. Some people say pitch. You need to work on that a little bit better, because your presentation on your call is what's slowing them down. So if you don't have this set up, you don't know where the bottleneck is. You don't know where you're leaking the sale or leaking the money. So it's so important that we pay attention to one conversion. And this happened to me in my class that I'm hosting. I remember when I had 2 people on the call, I'm like, what happened? Well, what happened is my link was not sent out, and my emails wasn't sent out. It was my funnel was broken. So it wasn't even about a lead issue, because I had the lead. I just didn't get the emails, and I just didn't get a text. So But I quickly was able to fix that. And then we closed and had a 5-figure day when I was able to close that. So you have to really understand data is over drama. Data is dollars. Okay. If you've been to my masterclass, I talk about this earlier in the masterclass. Data is data over drama. So I knew where the bottleneck is, so I was able to adjust and make it accordingly. But if you're not looking at what is my leads, based what is the how many leads I'm bringing in, how am I captivating these audience, what is the conversion tool that I'm leading them to, all of that need to be tweaked. So if I had just said, oh my God, only 2 people showing up for my masterclass, I'm just gonna not do it anymore. Where truth of the matter is, I had to figure out, why did 100 people didn't come, 100 something people that signed up didn't come. So clearly it had to be my funnel. It had to be from the time they came into the leads. Well, I captivate their attention, but the funnel was broken for them to even come to the conversion. All right. So I hope this helps you when you are trying to figure out, how do I move someone from a lead to a sale, and what is the conversion tool that I'm going to use, and be committed in sticking with that conversion tool till you have enough data to say, okay, let me try something else. And most of the time, you can stick with that same conversion tool till you reach your 7 figures. All right, that's all I got for you. It's your girl, Sherri Somers Bell. Listen, if you need help with this, I want you to, one, subscribe and hit the bell, but I also want you to DM me leads inside my DM on Instagram so we can show you how we can help you with this. Talk to you later.